The film opens with a voice narrating a tale, stories passed down about people born with an extraordinary gift, the ability to create music so profound, so pure that it could stir the souls of the dead or those yet to be born. In ancient West Africa, this rare talent was known as create, a divine force capable of healing communities. But such power didn't come without danger. It also drew in darkness. Clarksdale, Mississippi, October 1932. Sammy Moore arrives at a church, injured and shaken, his face slashed with claw marks, clutching only the broken neck of his guitar. Inside, his father Jedediah, a preacher, is deep in prayer. He rushes to his son and tries to console him, pleading with him to abandon music, to turn to God and seek salvation. But Sammy stays quiet, holding his shattered instrument close. As his father speaks, Sammy is overwhelmed by a disturbing vision of being attacked. We then go back to the day before. Sammy's twin cousins, Smoke and Stack, return to town from Chicago. They've robbed some dangerous men and are now waiting for a contact. A car soon arrives, and out steps Hogwood, a former Klansman. He takes them to an old sawmill, the site they plan to convert into a juke joint for the black community. They hand him a bag full of stolen cash and warn him, if he or his racist friends return, they'll be dead men. The twins go to get Sammy and travel together to a hidden spot where they've hidden a truck loaded with alcohol for the juke joint's grand opening. A snake slithers out, but Smoke kills it quickly. After checking the stash, Smoke suggests they wait until next weekend to launch, but Stack insists they open that very night. Smoke agrees, but says someone needs to guard the truck, so he stays while Stack and Sammy head off. Smoke later drives the truck into town and parks it near a bar. He spots a little girl and pays her to keep an eye on the truck, telling her to honk if anyone suspicious approaches. Inside the bar, he reconnects with his old buddy Bo Chow and Bo's daughter Lisa. Smoke asks for help preparing the sawmill for the night. Suddenly, the horn blares. He rushes outside and finds two men trying to steal the booze. Without hesitation, he shoots one in the back and wounds the other. When they realize it's Smoke's truck, they beg for mercy. But Smoke fires again, making his point. The townsfolk don't panic. They know the twins well. Back inside, Smoke pays Bo to handle the bodies and hires his wife Grace to paint a sign for the juke joint, giving her $14 for the job. Meanwhile, Stack takes Sammy to the train station to recruit Delta Slim, a legendary bluesman. Slim refuses at first, but changes his mind when offered some Irish beer they plan to serve. Then Mary, a childhood friend and Stack's old flame, shows up. She's furious they didn't reach out after her mother passed, a woman who had been like family to them. Sammy flirts with Pearl, a married woman, and invites her to the party. Smoke later finds his old friend Cornbread laboring in a cotton field with his wife Therese. He pulls him from the field and hires him for security. Later, Smoke visits his estranged wife Annie, a voodoo practitioner. She rejects the money he offers her, calling it cursed. The loss of their child still divides them. Annie warns that her magic has been shielding them for years. As night falls, an Irishman named Remick, covered in blood, shows up at the home of a racist couple, Bert and Joan, offering gold in exchange for safety from engines. They let him in. Soon, Cho warriors arrive and warn Joan, but she refuses to listen. Inside, Remick reveals himself as a vampire, biting Bert and later Joan. Back at the sawmill, the juke joint opens with a packed crowd, but the launch drains their funds. Annie and Stack convince Smoke to accept script payments for entry, and Mary is let in for free, being like family. Stack puts Sammy on stage. His music is soulful, haunting. The crowd is spellbound. The sound is so moving, it begins summoning spirits from beyond. Musicians from different times appear, joining the party. The air is electric. The eerie power draws the attention of Remick, Bert, and Joan. Disguised as musicians, they arrive and play a tune to charm their way in. Smoke senses something off and turns them away, even when they offer money. Mary, seeing the money, tries to negotiate on their behalf, but Remick's eyes glow red. He lunges at her and turns her into a vampire. Meanwhile, Cornbread, distracted outside, is lured away by Bert and Joan. Mary re-enters and flirts with Smoke, but ends up seducing Stack. A violent incident breaks out on the dance floor. A man is slashed over loaded dice. Smoke tells Sammy to find Stack, but Sammy hesitates. Smoke goes himself and finds Stack being bitten by Mary. Horrified, Smoke shoots her repeatedly, but she doesn't die. She vows vengeance and vanishes. Stack dies in Smoke's arms. Smoke and Slim evacuate the joint, sending guests home. Only Sammy, Grace, Annie, Slim, and Pearl remain. Cornbread bangs on the door, demanding to come in. Annie senses danger and warns them. When Smoke offers payment, Cornbread, now a vampire, lunges and bites him. Smoke shoots him, and he flees. Annie confirms their worst fear: vampires. Then Stack reawakens as one of them. Pretending he's still human, he tricks Smoke into finding a key. When Smoke returns, Stack bursts from a closet, but Annie douses him with pickled garlic juice, forcing him to retreat. Outside, the turned vampires gather, led by Remick, Mary, Stack, Bert, and Joan. Remick reveals everything. Hogwood, a clan leader, planned the massacre. But Remick isn't driven by racism. He wants Sammy's gift to raise his people's spirits. He offers them immortality. When they decline, he threatens Lisa. Realizing escape isn't possible, the survivors prepare for war, armed with garlic, stakes, and guns. Grace bravely charges at her vampiric husband Beau, sacrificing herself and setting them both ablaze. Slim lures away enemies by cutting himself. Pearl is killed before Sammy's eyes. Chaos erupts as the survivors fight back. Annie, bitten, asks Smoke to kill her before she turns. With great sorrow, he does. Stack and Mary watch from afar, grief-stricken. Smoke and Stack face off. Outside, Remick slashes Sammy's face, the same scar seen earlier. Sammy fights back, jamming his guitar's silver head into Remick's skull. Smoke arrives and drives a stake through Remick's chest. With sunrise, the vampires burst into flames. With the clan approaching, Smoke urges Sammy to flee. He stays behind, armed, and ambushes the clansmen, gunning them down and tossing grenades. Though shot himself, he finishes them off, killing Hogwood last. Dying, he sees the spirit of Annie and their child. Sammy returns to church. His father again pleads with him to abandon music, but Sammy refuses, leaving with his guitar. In the credits, we see Sammy in 1992, an old bluesman still playing. After his show, Stack and Mary appear, unchanged. They embrace him. Stack reveals Smoke spared him that night and asked him to watch over Sammy from the shadows. He offers to turn Sammy into a vampire, but Sammy declines, saying he's lived enough. He plays one last song for them. He admits he still has nightmares, but before night fell, that day was the best of his life. Stack agrees. It was the last time he saw his brother, the sun, and felt truly free. And that's where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome movie recaps.